Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
International relations. European Union Parliament yegamba Uganda teddamu okuzimba omudumo gw'amafuta kubanga ekola ebikola ebikyobula eddembe ly'obuntu. Mwami Museveni abavumye Parliament bavumye Bobi Wine yaga nti balyose tubadde tufa.
Let me tell you, kana akatabo nakawandiika dda. The oil cars.
Zero kwogerako.
Yes.
Nti amafuta kikolimu.
Nabawandikira ku mafuta naye mbagamba. Aid as a tool of trouble. Why has foreign aid brewed trouble in Africa? Bare facts indicate that conflicts are prevalent in oil-rich countries that have not surrendered their resources management to European and American oil companies. In many African countries, especially those in West Africa and Central, long ago, exploited by the French companies, Petrofina, which did not leave behind any tangible development. What people don't know, nti Central Africa ina mafuta. All of these Central African countries, they surrendered the oil to Petrofina yaba Faransa. They are poor countries. Oil is an inexhaustible resource. Nobody can tell you the exact oil resource you have. They can tell you technology. Oil dwarfs other income from other products.
Sectors, yes.
Sectors. Nigeria kule mmeri. Nenga twakula bali enda kuyabo. The moment they discover the oil dwarfs. When you have oil, you embark on Ivory Tower projects. Damu ye jinja enkadde. Yali eguddemu mwali teyaba Japan. Kuloni. Flyovers. Highways, because you have oil. Your quality worthiness improves because of oil. But one day when you wake up, you find that you are heavily indebted. Every thief is here because of oil. Everybody brings an idea because of oil. So, nakawandika miaka nga 10 years. One of my sons.
Are you saying we're under the oil curse now? But you actually ask, is it a curse or a scrum?
Let me tell you,
what is it?
One of my sons went to Scotland, Aberdeen University, and his area of specialty was oil and the oil law.
Mutabani wa mukugu mu by'amafuta.
Yes.
Yasoma amafuta na mateeka agafuga amafuta.
Yes.
Mutabani wo.
Aberdeen University. Era bwe nagenda
buli government kebeno.
Bwe nagenda Scotland bambuuza. Have you brought Museveni's money? Konze how? I was one of the few blacks who attended the graduation party
in
Scotland, Aberdeen University. He specialized in natural resources, oil and oil law. Amateka agafuna amafuta galiranda niyoka.
Alirudda wa mutabani wo.
Ate nkugambye nti baloya nina bana, badokita nina bana, ate babakazi banjawulo. Toteeka majigo mu kibbo kimu ekitegeeza brain eri munze mwennyini. Brain eri wansi wano kubanga singa brain teri muyingini mwali baddemu abasiru kaka nze abaana bange bonna brain eri mu batule
Joseph Tamale Mirundi
abakazi abaagala okuzaala abaana abagezi ekaniipe ni donate kati nkugamba nti in Central Africa, citizens of these otherwise rich nations remain poor to date because foreign oil companies only gave some residue proceeds to the ruling class. As long as French companies had a free hand in oil deals in these countries, there was no trouble because, in this case, by the people they're talking about, the environment, it meant French citizens first. And second, those from other Western nations, not the Africans. Did they raise environmental concerns in Saudi Arabia? which is a desert.
Katugende ku European Union.
Anti chenkubuulira.
Is it the oil cost they are pursuing
oil
now?
mu Africa abakasi. Any country that gets oil in Africa, the problem eri mu Uganda, Museveni's stance. Museveni believes we must have a refinery. Museveni bamwite in Nigeria. Do you know that many Nigerians don't get fuel in Nigeria? They cross to Cameroon.
Yes.
Where it is cheaper. Ngansi amusam. President Museveni bamwite in Nigeria to address, to defend the refinery. Twatuukayo mu northern Nigeria ng'ekifo kigula ekifo kyatuuka ku $5 Museveni we yajjira. Museveni is a man who is admired outside. Museveni will be like Nkuruma. Nkuruma is admired everywhere except in Uganda. Kakati
So Museveni is admired where?
bwe tutuuka in Nigeria, Museveni defended the refinery. Yabagamba nti ingenda ky'okunyonyola. Kakati wano nkugambye, in Sierra Leone, Britain deployed over 5,000 soldiers ostensibly to evacuate the nationals trapped in that country's bloody civil war. Instead of focusing on the mission, the British troops invaded and took over Sierra Leone diamond fields that they control up to today. In Sierra Leone today, no topic is undiscussed save the value of diamond exports. It is believed that this can lead to a coup d'etat. The Sierra Leone political leadership has virtually surrendered their country's diamond fields to Britain. Whenever oil has been discovered in Africa, the foreign friends in inverted commerce have sent us experts to determine our priorities, many of which influence to incite the population against their leaders. As usual, the gullible Africans believe that corruption allegations, as if this was the most corrupt case nkubulira. Nti.
Okay. Let us look at the merit of the case. The EU Parliament yegamba nti ebikolwa ebyokutyobula eddembe ly'obuntu.
Yes.
Mukwata bano, musiba bano, mugalira bano, drone zitambula.
Anti nkubulira.
Bituufu si bituufu.
Anti nkubulira. How does it touch on oil? Attend the European Union sijinyega nako. Abasajja bano bagezi. Museveni abamulwanyisa balina amagezi. If you give Museveni oil money, ng'abadde atambulira ku mwanyi n'alumba Africa yonna. Omwe oil revenue. Yes. Nti Nigeria bwe yafuna oil resources. Nkuruma bwe yafuna gold. He sent most of the money for the liberation of Africa. Nyerere had little resources. He spent most of his money to the frontier states. So any person who did international relations like me, I know the international community cannot allow Museveni to have oil revenue.
Yeah, because you know why they can't, because bamanyi nti ajja mukozesa bubi. Olaba asuubira busuubizi naye drone zitwala bezitwala bakuba eriyo be basibye eri abalemedde makomera. So ate bwe wanaabaawo
oil revenue egenda kuyamba ani? The Russians who are selling us weapons, the Chinese who are here, where we have a big debt. So the European Union is fighting a proxy war, and it's a serious war. Why? They can declare your oil, bloody oil. Why do you have a pipeline? Today, you have a pipeline to the sea. At the advent of colonialism, you had a railway from the sea. Today, you are creating a pipeline to the sea. Why? You are serving the same interest. The railway was started in 1896 to link Uganda to the sea. The steamers are defeated. They were carrying it very good. Now, okutte Kenya sima mafuta
already.
Southern Sudan, balete professor of mathematics. N'ababalira ti amafuta gano bwe mugatwala Katumbu batubala sente ze tufuna. Bwe tukayise Kenya n'ababalira bwe mugayise Ethiopia waliwo akasozi akali steep wemuyina okuleetanga ebimotoka ebyamanyi bisika emotoka. A mathematician, a professor of mathematics in Juba University, calculated about baduka machine. Balia sent in Bagwao. So me, as a man who did it in Museveni's problem, in fact I write it here. It is the problem Museveni has. Nti nkugamba mukatabu kange kano kena wandika ngomwana ngamazo okugenda okusoma oil. Nkugamba many commentators have advanced arguments, some of which are childish and laughable. They say oil wealth is a curse, and that this is what is haunting our younger oil sector today. My submission is that the view is unscientific and therefore false. What do they mean by oil curse? It is true that in many African countries where oil has been discovered, it has triggered trouble and generated excitement, which has attracted foreign interventions. But this cannot be defined as a curse or a pest, for it would affect whoever has oil. So if oil was a curse, how come it only affects African countries? This to me is paramount. Why hasn't it caused trouble in Norway and other developed systems? Therefore, the exclusion of Norway is enough to invalidate the argument of oil wells being a curse. Another pertinent issue to address is the sincerity of our foreign friends, in inverted commas, about equal distribution of oil proceeds among Ugandans. We may have to first examine their conduct in relation to other products of export value. Okay. Since the colonial period, did we,
Tamale,
as Africans...
Can we look at the issues that these people are advancing? They are fighting a proxy. That could be true.
Let me tell you, Bobi Wine Tamanyi. Museveni will never leave power until ngafunya amafuta. Mbabuliza. Why? If Museveni had gone in 2016 or 2021, and people see the flyovers now in Kampala, they would condemn Museveni nti yatukonya. Waliwo nabagamba ti enkoko mijimanyi. Enkoko yedda si ye ya leero. Enkoko bwe mwagiryanga ng'emala ennaku 7 mu bubiri toddamu kulya nkoko ndala. I think it was done to preserve enkoko okuba tezaliwe. Naye omusajja akyala ewa mukwano gwe n'awulyanga enkoko bagigoba kozi bagitwala ku mpanga yalemera bwe wiiki namba. Tebamulyako omunyonyi. Nabagamba nti it would be better for a man who has detected nti mugenda kutta nkoko mugireeta agirye kagende mu kifo ky'ogikweka asule mumunoonyeze n'ebyokwebika. It would be better. Museveni yatugamba amafuta gasimwa 2.6 ne bagamulemesa. N'abagamba ga 2.11 ne bagamulemesa. N'akomawo alinda nkoko
ga 2.16.
N'agati ga 2.16 ne katajja. N'akomawo alinda enkoko.
Kati yagambye ga 2.25.
Ayirajja kubeerawo. Why? Anybody who gets oil money will develop this country. Adwafinga Museveni's development. Very people, except the people like me, who will assess how much money did Museveni have at that time. Never munakola mutya.
Wanga na yera bwaba akondeninga bobote na amini. Tabala how much money did they have at that time. Abakondeninga as if.
Bobi Wine jule enkoko omusajja ayirye kagende. Omukenyi. Nemo manye enkoko. Enkoko bwe bagitanga ne bagireeta ne bagiwa kojja mmwe. Omuko yazze. Ate nga it is up to the muko to decide obeena agisala oba agenda nayo.
Mukoya bagimuleeta muko enkoko.
Kakati bwe yasalangawo bagitte. N'atunulanga mutudde ku lujjuliro muli abageza okulima bakomyewo. N'ababalanga muli bangi. Ngagandi ekyoka kyange kinkutta ate saze naddagala muginsibireko ngende nayo olwamaze okubala.
Ndibwe munagigabana.
Tali yako.
Bajja kulya. Bajimusibira.
That's why Muganda tells you, did you come to count my children? Was the kuliana kubala bana? What was the essence of a beast counting the children? To know if I spend this chicken with this group of children sijja kulya kakati muginsibireko ekyoka kinkutte kati
nga ngende nayo
enkoko yange muginsibireko ekyokubiri
parliament bwega nti
Muganda do you know the use of enkoko to Muganda enkoko we call it enkokola it cleans buli kimuntu yonna ekiri simple like omujjwa ejjula enjuyi zekiziba gundi statement kakati when it comes to enkoko women we are not allowed to eat enkoko embizi and why the formation stages tayinza okuzaala omwana alinga embizi oba omutwe ogwensenene obaki it was not madu as this modern women are trying to say toli kyebabagaana kulya bo baali kyebamanyi nti oyinza okuba nti yalya nnyo ensenene kati obulya maŋŋeeni ne wanyama means maama we yayoya nnyo ennyama maŋŋeeni yayoya ebyennyanja musana bamuzaala musana so cultures zirina ebyo lwakuba mwe temuzimanyi kakati when you want to test whether your neighbor has an affair with your wife invite him to share chicken. The gizzard is very important. When you don't say gizzard, when your wife gives the gizzard to the visiting man, then he's telling you has an affair with him and he has children in that family. And when you split the gizzard, what do you see? Have you ever split a gizzard? And you splitting how it looks like. And that's how the Baganda settled on it to decide it was the Baganda DNA. You split the gizzard as you are watching me and you see what it resembles. Why did it become a determining factor? If I suspect that Mwanga has an affair with my wife, I invite him to my home with roti and cocoa, and if my wife gives a gizzard to you, tulaba nti olusingo ne ku nkoko baba lutunda lugendera kumu ne gizzard. Why? A combination of olusingo and the lower part of a chicken. You eat both. So if you see this part of the chicken given to your wife, giving it to a visitor, then you detect that's our DNA. To me, I write ahead. The problem whether you keep Museveni cannot go without oil money. Why? Whoever touches oil money will develop the country very fast, and Museveni's legacy will be dwarfed. So it will be in the interest, because we can.
What is that legacy in the first place?
Yes, anti-Uganda, Munna-Uganda eyafa 2 years ago. Alabyeko ku motoka eziyita waggulu, however short it is, flyover zizze. Eyagirabyeko. Tulabyeko kubayita waggulu. Baakola akatindo kamu wali ennakawa. Naye nga abasajja basiiba basitamya olwazi. Nti abakazi bayitanga ku gundi okubala bannika zaabwe. Ennakawa men used to settle themselves there to see the knickers of women as they walked on the moon.
Fly over.
Therefore, any government that will touch money, oil money, will dwarf the past. As a political science, I tell you.
I think you are Olimubantu Bobi Wine bagamba nti Mr. Museveni says this is his oil.
Yes, who discovered it? Let me tell you, abazungu bamanya oil. The Baganda knew that oil was in Bunyoro. That's why Buganda fought to tooth and nail to retain Yamasaza Gabula. They knew that oil was in Bunyoro. But what they didn't know the particular place. That's why Buganda stuck to the Masaza Gabula. They had got a whisper. Another area that has oil is Lake Wamala. Lake Wamala has got oil. But immediately it was discovered, Lake Wamala in oil. The people who discovered it were arrested and detained up to today. And somebody took over the area and put their plantation. Buvuma has oil.
So, about Bobi Wine, ne Museveni.
Yes.
Museveni agati abazungu tebajja kumfuga.
Tebajja kumufuga. Andika nkubulira.
Bobi agati nno kye bakoze kyekyo.
Auntie, let me tell you.
Kandi balecho kwongera kutuwagira.
Auntie, let me tell you. Bobi Wine is going to be misunderstood. Ojiraba. Ene baruwa ojiraba. Ebaruwa eno ojiraba. Ebaluwa Museveni bwe yajja nabagamba nti the British were strategic. Damu yejinja bagikola ku side ya Buganda. Ne Buganda ne bagiwamu shares. Buganda had shares in UEB. 2. All Buganda government institutions could get free good electricity. 3. Obat had a direct line. Ngeva mu damu erage waabwe erira. But the Baganda ordinary people were told nti amasannyalaze bwe gabeera mu nnyumba gakuba libido gatwala amaanyi g'ekisajja ne bagata era incident yagwawo owekenti lwe yajja Emmengo because at independence we wanted the power kaavaako kati Museveni bwe wajja n'ayagala okukola daamu ku saidi ya Busoga bagiwakanya kankusomere gisoma abantu baga nti mbiyiyiza wano soma ebbaluwa eyo.
Monday December 17 21 essaawa 12:31 paka 35. The above project is due to come to the board to seek for your approval. With the concerned members of Parliament of Uganda, I would like to express the following concerns regarding this project. 1. Corruption. The revelation is in court to the effect that there was a lot of corruption in order to influence government officials to give political support to the project to enable the company takeoff. A case in point is the of Kava Yondo Lilian, a finance officer with the AES, who testified under oath in Uganda court that AES spent 1 billion Uganda shillings in bribes. See attached documents. We feel that there is a need to investigate these revelations that back earlier press reports that the project was marred with corruption practices. There were press reports that the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development received a bribe from AES. These reports have not yet been fully investigated and the results released to the public. There is lack of transparency. In the process of debating the PPA, members of Parliament were not given copies of this document. In addition, we are not given sufficient time to read and effectively contribute to meaningful debate in the House. It is therefore unfair that such a project is brought to your board without the members of Parliament and the public accessing the PPA for final scrutiny. The 7th Parliament of Uganda requested the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development to give it a progress reports on the above project. To our dismay, despite this request to date, she has never given out any reports. We also believe that the award of Bujagali falls to AES for development as an HEP project without an international competitive bidding process was not transparent. This manner of transacting public business is an untransparent manner and is unfortunate. We think the current corruption practices reported against AES may have had origin from the lack of transparency experienced right from the time AES started its business with the government of Uganda. This was serious.
Spirits. You
want to read? Spirits. Bujagali is a cultural site for the communities in Busoga. Consultation is held with the spirits on 30th superscript in September 2001 reveals that the spirits refused to be located to another place. We feel this is an important factor that has to be addressed before the bank thinks of funding this project, lest this would lead to the destruction of the culture or religion of the people in Busoga. AES and government has put in place spiritual leaders who would favor their own interests without following cultural procedures of choosing the Budagali, the custodian of the spirits at Bujagali. This in itself underrests the people's culture and violates the bank's policies and conflicts of interest. The spirits was a major factor. Why did you want me to read? This letter was written.
Is history repeating
This letter
itself?
was written
They
by.
fought to the dam. Museveni defeated them.
The letter was written by. So Baloya Lia John Ken Luchamuzi, Geoffrey Kanya, Peus J. Ruondali, Nsubuga Nsambu, Nandra Mafabi, Dan Chewalabye, Frank Nabwiso, and Salam Masumba.
Yes, they fought to the dam. They fought with the dam.
Were they wrong? Because
And
they
how?
said
Nemwogera abazungu babasekerera.
tebagirabangako
I believe.
n'ey'amafuta Bobi Wine n'endagaano z'amafuta zaano
Miamu mukiwezi eddogondi lina kuba nze kasodi yali mu famire yaffe anti nze mbiyina nze gwe byalonda nze mbiyina bize bitambula nze mbiyina kakati naye manyiwe bikolera ne bwebitakolera naye luuko ati a woman like Musumba, a member of parliament, writing to the World Bank nti bujagali aganye.
Yes, the speech of
emisambo gye kati Museveni yakwata sente ne bawa bujagali sente n'akuba essimu yakubira emisambo egy'obujagali essimu
negivaayo.
Yes. So what Bobi Wine is doing was done a long time ago. Me, I don't blame the Europeans. Why? What is your diplomatic representative in Europe, in the European Parliament? But diplomats, today, you are selecting people to a yara. What are the objectives of the federation? What type of people should we take to East African Federation? Nedda abakimanyi nti we are trying to create a state.
Abakimanyi.
What we are doing, we want to create a state, the East African Federation, with its headquarters in Arusha. A federation means two spheres of authority. We are going to have regional or state governments in Kigali, in Kampala, in Dar es Salaam, in all of the member states. Kakati at the formational level, bantu kibotuteyo. After the First World War, America sent their president, Reverend Wilson, to negotiate the League of Nations. When he went back, I was killed, assassinated. America did not achieve what it wanted, to become a superpower. That's why America sponsored the Second World War, to demolish Europe and become a superpower.
So is Bobi Wine right
Talina
to support the European sanctions?
Ti Bobi Wine kye yakoze muwemu wa Mark wali wa kugenda Ukraine. Yes. Ya atuyamba nti if you make an opinion poll in Uganda between Ukraine and Russia, 80% of Ugandans support Ukraine.
So Bobi Wine yageze kola kye Ukraine. What value addition did he?
The biggest delegation ya Russia is fighting isolation. And Bobi Wine is telling these people that if you think that we also support Russia, no, we have an alternative.
No, Museveni is with Russia.
So
Bobi Wine goes to Ukraine.
As an opposition leader.
You had to go to Ukraine.
But what you saw, tebamuwadde uniform yabwe y'amagye ono simanyi nankumbi ono mukazi wa traffic agamba kukwata binankani. The law is there. Whoever is found with an item that is a monopoly of the military goes to the court martial. Why do you quarrel with him? Oba babiyina bijaketi babijjeewo bakwate bogere gye babijje. But when you see military police involved, it means batidde ababakozesa bagambe mugere mu bibajjeko twefuula ababibajjeeko, because whenever they are cornered bo bakuwayo n'ogenda kidoli politics.
Let's have a short break.